John used to love driving Ubers. Now he's too scared to get behind the wheel after a passenger's unprovoked attack.
It was the Uber trip from hell.
Joking?
I was thinking I'm going to die.
It's the early hours of a Sunday morning and Uber driver John has just picked up 2 passengers from Melbourne's Noble Park.
The seatbelt on, please.
What are you, mum?
Thank you.
Things seem normal, perhaps a little unusual, as this man, only known as Adrian, pulls a $10 note out of his pocket.
Just take it.
Sorry. Thank you.
Give us a 2-pack music.
I'm not sure how to get it.
Why not?
Which one? Which station?
Just 2-pack music on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. Good man, good. Wait, turn it right out. Turn it right out.
Driver John becomes increasingly uncomfortable as Adrian chugs down vodka, not 1 gulp, not 2, but at least 7 during his trip. At one point, Adrian makes a gun gesture towards the driver's head, then hangs out the window. Suddenly, he jumps out of the back to get closer to John, staring him down and sticking out his tongue. Adrian refuses to wear a seatbelt, and by this stage, he's barely comprehensible.
Give me a look. Give me again.
Pardon?
Don't worry about it. You got street drive, bro. You're right.
The taunts only get worse.
Kiss my cheek.
I don't know this.
At their destination in Preston, Adrian's insistent on shaking John's hands.
Chop you off, and I'm gonna hit you in the
I call
face.
the cops. Yeah, I call the cops.
Call police. Okay.
Suddenly, this drunk passenger flies into a rage. They tussle as John struggles to break free. John tries to escape, but Adrian pulls him back into the car.
I was taking blows on my head and I was feeling that I'm losing consciousness.
Eventually, John makes a run for it as Adrian disappears into the night.
He tried chasing me, but then he was too drunk to chase me.
With such crystal clear images of the offender and credit card details provided to Uber, you'd think it'd be pretty easy to track him down. Think again.
But then cops came back to me saying that they're not cooperating with us.
3 months on, Adrian remains at large. It hasn't been served with a warrant, but police have reportedly told Uber they can't for minor common assaults.
I think it's a moral duty of Uber to help the police and help me to find the culprit.
We visited the pickup address where the resident called who he claimed to be Adrian.
Do you remember attacking an Uber driver?
What?
Yeah.
When? What?
The fact that we have all these apps and platforms that contain an enormous amount of data is very beneficial for police because in 99% of cases, criminals will leave a digital trail behind.
Susan McLean is a former police officer turned cyber safety crusader.
Some companies do it very well in liaising with Australian law enforcement, some make it very difficult.
When it comes to big business protecting the rights of criminals, it's something I have first-hand experience of. When my car and bank cards were stolen, to an online shopping spree on American retailer Wish. But it refused to give police the thieves' postal address without a warrant, effectively blocking detectives from making an arrest.
We have to get a warrant, it has to be converted to an international warrant and it has to be served, which is a time-consuming process, but it's also quite costly. So police do have to make a judgment call about the seriousness of what they're investigating.
Uber's now banned Adrian from the platform, but John still struggles to get behind the wheel.
It's been hard for the first 2 months. So then I'm driving after 2 months.
So for 2 months you didn't drive at all?
Yes.
John's now jobless and says he'll never work for Uber again.
I was in a situation where I was almost dead. I don't think Uber would help me out. So end of the day, it's not about money. It's all about helping out each other.
Yeah, well said, poor John. Since we became involved, Uber's agreed to hand over Adrian's details to police.